Good morning. It is August 6th, 2021. I wanted to talk about something that kind of was part of my past. Basically, why I've pretty much lost faith in doctors per se because of the negative effect it had on my life. So we're going to rewind to February 13th of 2013. That's when I had my foot surgery. And I thought I had the best doctor I could find to do my foot surgery. I saw a few guys, I saw about 3 different surgeons, and he was the only one who basically said he could fix me. And that was a relief. I was in so much pain. At the time, I was a union painter. And I was so bad, I'd get off work and my wife Amy had to bring crutches out to the car so I can go in my house on crutches. And I was pretty much icing all night. That way I can go to work the next day. And I made a really decent living doing that. Amy was a stay-at-home mom because I was able to afford to keep her home with the kids. So, back to the foot surgery part. He told me that I would be painting again within 6 months of the surgery. So, through the union, I was able to get temporary disability for 6 months. I was like, okay, that comes in line with what I have planned. Get this done, recover, back to work in 6 months. Even if I had to go a few extra months, I could go on unemployment if he released me to go back to work. Great. I was like, yes, I'm gonna be fixed. I was 33 years old at the time. Actually 32 years old at the time. I was dealing with my foot issues throughout my whole adult life. So being able to hear a doctor tell me this was great to hear. So I had the foot surgery February 13th, 2013. About a month later, I would go visit the foot doctor every 2 weeks at first, and then every month. So I think it was the month, or it was either the first month or second month. He sat down with me and said, asked him how it's going. He's like, it's good, but you need to lose weight. And I'm like, okay. He said, losing the weight will help you. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I can't even walk. How do you expect me to lose weight? Regardless, whatever. And then he said, I asked about my work. I was like, well, back to work in, a few more months. He's like, well, that's, I can't really tell you'll be painting again. I strongly suggest that you look for a desk job instead. So I just sat there like, really? I never went to college. My college was the painters union. I went to a 3-year apprenticeship. That was my college. My dad's a union painter, and my 2 brothers were union painters. That was our path. It was a trade. We got into trades because my dad raised 5 kids on a trade with my mom at home. So that was a devastating blow. I felt helpless at that point, and at the time, my kids were younger, a lot younger than they are now. And I wanted to support them. And him telling me that rocked my world in a bad way. Then 2 months later, I had to file for Chapter 13 bankruptcy because I didn't know when I was going back to work, and things were getting bad. And Amy was trying to get a job while I was out because I was, this was like 5 months in. She was trying to get a job, and this was back in 2013. She couldn't find a job. She applied everywhere. So Chapter 13 was my way to save my house, to save my financial stability. I went to the bankruptcy office attorney's office on crutches with a foot, I was broken in every sense of the word. Couldn't walk. And now my whole life was crashing down on me, and now my family's looking at me. I'm supposed to be the one supporting. Instead, I'm the one that's crippled, and it was crippling my spirit. It was crippling me in so many ways. So I filed Chapter 13. I owed my foot doctor money, and my attorney advised me just add it to the Chapter 13. I owed him I think it only like $500. I was like, well, are you sure I shouldn't pay him? Keep paying him his money? No, you're fine. The attorney advised me, you're fine. I was like, okay. So I saw my foot doctor a month after that for a checkup. And instead of the nurse coming out to get me, some other gentleman came out to get me, brought me into a room in the back and said, here's your bill. I was like, okay, well, I told him the circumstances. He's like, I don't care. You're paying us. I said, I filed Chapter 13. I don't have any money to pay you now. I don't have anything. Well, we can't see you until you pay this bill. Basically strong-arming me in the back room. And I was literally in tears, and the guy didn't give a shit. He didn't care. He wanted his money. I couldn't give him his money, because I didn't have it. So that's the last time I saw that foot doctor. That was July of 2019, or 2013, sorry. And I haven't seen him since. And that left a real bad taste in my mouth. This guy told me I'd be back to work in 6 months, and it didn't happen. I was basically out of work until April 1st, 2014 is when I started another job. When I was a union painter, a bad year was making 65 grand a year. A good year was making 75 grand a year, which for a stay-at-home, that's ideal. I found a job at an auto parts store making $10 an hour. And when I was interviewed, I wanted to be a delivery driver because I didn't feel I could stand up all day because of my foot. And this gentleman gave me a job. He gave me a chance. He said, I want you working on the parts counter. I had previous experience before I joined the painters union of working at an auto parts store. So he saw that. He's like, I'm going to put you on the parts counter, and if you need a stool, I'll get you a stool. Thank God. This man gave me an opportunity when no one else would. And I was scared because I didn't know if I could stand all day. Fast forward, so April 1st, 2014, March 1st, 2015, I was the store manager of the store. I busted my ass every day so I could earn money to support my family. And I became the store manager less than a year later. I was still heavy though. I still couldn't walk I couldn't walk long distances or run. And that's why I felt exercise was impossible. And in the meantime, I was seeing a pain management doctor. He was giving me my pain meds every month, and that was keeping me going. At least I thought it was. So I started DDPY July of 2019. Told my pain management doctor I was doing this. He's like, great, you need to lose weight anyway. He's been telling me to lose weight for years. And I was finally doing it. So I kept losing weight. Then in September of 2020, I saw him, And I noticed a few months before, he stopped talking about my weight loss. which was it kind of bothered me, but I'm like, well, I guess he saw I lost the weight, but he never mentioned maybe you can stop taking these opioids, these painkillers. He never mentioned that to me. And driving home that day in September 2020, I looked at myself in the rearview mirror and I said, Matt, no more. You're not filling this prescription. You need to stop taking this pain medicine. And I was scared out of my mind because I was scared to be in pain. And that was always my biggest fear, is being in pain. I hated being in pain. But that night, I didn't take them. The next day, I didn't take them. The next day, I didn't take them. Actually, I think I filled a prescription and I stuck it in my kitchen cabinet and I left it there. I mean, I shouldn't have. I did that so I could face it. You know, the first few weeks were hell at night. Alone in the bed, my legs would shake. I felt like I was crawling out of my own skin. And that, I never saw that doctor again. He never called me, never. And so that's why my faith in these doctors has diminished. And that's why DDPY, this program, is so special to me, because it helped me repair my body. It helped me become stronger physically without walking or running. And the confidence I built up to the point where I quit taking the pain medicine, I wouldn't have been able to do that without DDPY, with the tools I got from DDPY. The strength, the confidence to just stop that. And when I stopped taking my pain medicine, it was a living hell. But I was like, I can do this. I can do this. I'm telling you, the first few nights, I'd go to bed at 9:30 and I wouldn't fall asleep till 1 or 2 in the morning. I would just lay in bed. But when is it? I think it's 2 days, or I'm close to 11 months without taking pain medicine. I beat it. I did it. I'm almost coming up on a year. And that's, I mean, talk about non-scale victories. That's a hell of a non-scale victory for me. And more importantly, it's something I never thought I could ever achieve. And the more I've done my journey, I learn more and more that scale is just scale. And there's so much more to this than that. So much more than that number. So I don't want to down talk doctors. If you guys have a good doctor and he great. But for me, it's going to take me a little while to get back confidence in certain doctors, you know. I'll get there, but what it did to my life, this particular doctor, I know everyone's different, but it affected me big time. And I feel that his actions led me to where I am now with DDPY. I found an alternative, you know. Sorry this video is so long, but I just wanted to get this out there because it's, you know, it's part of me that I look back on and I'm proud of. And I mentioned this in an earlier post, like my struggles are what make me who I am today. And even you hate going through the hell, you hate going through the struggle, but you need that to become better. So thank you all for watching, and have a great day and a great weekend, and remember to be unstoppable.